Okay, let's look at a further example on Venn diagrams. A group of 80 athletes entered the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 400 meter sprints, and 6 entered all 3 events. Very important that. So if we have a look at here, we have the three events, the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 400 meters, and 6 athletes entered all 3. So there's an intersection, and I would always suggest that you start with the intersection. Okay, 21 entered none of these events. So 21 didn't race in the 100 meters, the 200 or 400. They probably did either, javelin or shot put. So they're on the outside. They're not part of the circles. Okay, all right. Now 10 entered the 100 meters and the 200 meters. 10 entered the 100 meters and the 200 meters. Now look, 6 athletes did enter the 100 meters and the 200, but they also did the 400. So, but we know that 10 did the 100 meters and the 200. So, if you look at 10, that piece there's got to be 4, because 6 plus 4 is 10. Athletes are in the intersection of the 100 meters and the 200. 10 athletes ran the 100 and the 200. 4 just ran the 100 and the 200, and 6 ran the 100, 200, and 400. So it's important that these two add up to 10. You can't just write, some people want to write that as 10. They go like this and they write this as 10. They put 10 there, and that's totally ludicrous, because then you got 16, which doesn't work. So you have to write 4 over there. 4 plus 6 is 10. 6 did the 100 and the 200 and the 400, but nevertheless the 100 and the 200 was done by the 6 athletes. It was run, and then the remaining 4 just did the 100 and 200. The 6 were ambitious, but 10 did the 100 and the 200. Okay, let's have a look here. 11 entered the 200 and the 400. 11 entered the 200 and 400. That's in the intersection between the 200 and the 400 is 11. 6 did all 3, but 5 just did the 200 and the 400. They just did those 2, but 11 did the 200 and the 400 as well. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. It says, of the 21 who entered the 100 meters, 10 entered nothing else. So if you look at this, 10 in the 100 meters, 10 did not do anything but the 100 meters. Okay, but there were 21 athletes who did the 100 meters. Now what's 10 plus 4 is 14, plus 6 is 20. So there's the remaining one. He falls in this situation where there was the 100 and the 400 there. So that's 21. Then what else do they say? 27 entered the 400. 27 entered the 400, so 27 is in the 400. Now we've got this as 6 plus 5 plus 1 gives you 12. Okay, so what is the difference there? That's going to give you 15 if you subtract these. So 15 plus 5 is 20, plus 6 plus 1 is 27, did the 400. They ran the 400. Okay, now all we have to do is find out now what is the remaining bits, because all of these have got to add up to a total of 80 athletes. Well, let's see, what is this? So we've got your 10 plus the 4 and the 6 is 10. That's 10, 20, 25, 30, 25, 30, 40, 41. So it's 41 plus the 21 there gives you 62. So we left with 18 to make up the 80. You see, 62 plus 18. So there's 18 who just ran the 200, and all of those will add up to your 80 there. So let's just clear that there, and then we can move on with some of the questions. Okay, so all of these now add up to 80. Okay, now let's have a look at some questions that follow. Okay, how many athletes entered the 200 meter event? Well, that's the sum of all of those numbers, 18 plus 4 plus 6 plus 15. So the number of athletes would be this. It would be simply the 18 plus the 4 plus the 6 plus the 5, which gives you a total of 33 athletes there that entered the 200. Okay, what is the probability of an athlete selected at random running in at least 2 of the sprint events? At least 2. In other words, 2 or more. Not only 1, none or 1, it's at least 2. So let's see, what would that be? In at least 2, okay. Here, of course, the 6 would definitely work because that's at least 2. Okay. These guys here are doing at least 2. The 18, the 10, the 15, they just do 1. Okay, and then 21 do none. Okay, so it's all of those guys that I've ticked that will do at least 2. Okay, so here we go. So we can say that the probability would be 1 plus the 4 plus the 5 plus the 6. 1, 4, 5, 6, all out of the 80. Okay, which gives you a total of 16 out of 80. Then you can simplify that if you like. Okay, so that's the probability there.